Okay, so let's talk about what I'm doing on this. I begin by playing a C major spread triad. C, G, E, with an octave C, then an octave D, giving me a C add 9, C major with an add 9 sound. And then I get into the first voicing, which is a C major 9, but the way it's voiced is with a G triad in the right hand, and the notes C, D, E, a little cluster. Then it resolves to a G minor chord with a B flat sus4 in the left hand, which resolves to a B minor 7 flat 6, okay, which is G sus2 chord over a B minor triad, which then resolves to a D major 7 9 over A. If I put a D in the bass, you'll hear that. That's a type of D chord. Then this chord resolves down. I'm using a similar structure as I used in the C. So this is like an A add 9, A major add 9. So I've got A, B, C sharp, and then an E major triad in the right hand. So I've got this mini cluster, the first, second, third degree of the scale, along with the fifth, seventh, ninth of the A major chord. And then that resolves down to a E sus2. This is E sus2 over G sharp minor, which is an inverted E major 7 9 chord. And then that resolves down to a C major 7 9 over G. If I put a C in the bass, you'll hear that. But the way I'm voicing it is D, E, B, and then G, C in the right hand. Then I do a move with the right hand. The B resolves down to A, and then I go to a G6 chord. This G6 chord is it's got a G, B, D, E, G. And this resolves down to a beautiful A lydian sound. And this A lydian sound in the right hand has C sharp, D sharp, F sharp, okay, which would be the third sharp 11 and 13, and then it has E, A, B, which would be an E sus4, but if I put an A in the bass like I actually overdubbed, it becomes an A lydian sound. Then I resolve it back up to what would be an A minor 9 11 sound, but inverted. So I've got that. I have the E sus4 and then a fifth of C to G, and then I go back to A lydian, then back to the A minor 9/11, and then I go to D dominant 7 sus4, then I go down to a C major 7 no third, and then I resolve that down to A chordal over a B and F sharp fifth. So here's your A chordal, A, D, G over B, F sharp, which then goes down to this really cool E mixolydian sound. So I'm playing this A, C sharp, D, E over an E, B perfect fifth in the left hand. Then I go back to this B aeolian chord. Once again, it's A chordal over a perfect fifth of B to F sharp, and then back to E mixolydian, back to B minor 7 flat 6, and then I go to, this is an A dominant 7 with a sus4 and third, and then I keep that same structure, so A, C sharp, D, G, which gives me a G lydian, which I resolved to G, add 9, and then the final chord was a D major 9, so it's D, A, F sharp, A, D, E, and I think I put an E on the top, but you could easily play that and play a C sharp there for the major 7. That would be beautiful.